And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they have both overcommitting in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Second and a yard at the Bears' 42-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ready? Blue 60! 65! 65! Hurry! 44 is Mike. 44 is Mike. Check. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
I'm coming, baby. Woo!
To throw again. Stafford. And this is caught by Curse. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Damon Harrison in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
First down, Bears.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Trubisky to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 7-7, our score after 1.
With the score tied 7-7.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in, and it's 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 10. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. On 2nd and 12, Trubisky. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open.
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. Touchdown, Chicago. Sammy Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner Kyle Fuller. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Trubisky eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Now Trubisky, he's going to take a shot for the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half. Of action.
Take you to school. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
chance. Monday.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Detroit Lions, first down. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
58. You lady. Let's go. Watch tight end.
From the red zone now, Stafford. He's got his man. It's Curse. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Second and a yard at the 11-yard line.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Stafford now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. It's Clinton Dix with a pick. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
The Bears in good field position to start out first and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Slams.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. The crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Get a 20! Mike, 58, right there. Here we go, D. All day.
They'll run with McKisson. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5.
Hey, tighten down. There you go. Alert!
Now it's Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Good job.
He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's second and 7 now from the 28. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And he he slings one that's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devon Kennard able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now it's Trubisky. And this is caught by Watkins. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Going on the ground with Homer. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And that penalty will move the ball to the 1-yard line.
It's so difficult to cover a fade route, and you're talking about into the end zone, and sometimes you panic a little as a defender, and the offensive guys are really smart. Sometimes they jump back into you and create the contact.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now a first down throw. Stafford looking sideline, incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but it's going to be second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's second and 10 now from the 35. Here's Johnson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. On first down, Trubisky. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Trubisky now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Pass from Trubisky taken in by Gabriel. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Trubisky. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Stafford. This complete to Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
32.
From the 50, Stafford. Looking long for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Lions on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Stafford looks to throw again. And he'll find Hall. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Push him back. 7. Push him back.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Drill right, 22. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Hey, exit. Just like that. Just right.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to go down again. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
53, ready. 58, boys, 58. 58 is Mike. Hey, here we go. Go. Watch the pass. 58, right over there. Yeah. Hey, 50. Right there. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. 58's the Mike.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. This is Homer. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And nothing but daylight ahead. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing a Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that actually costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
He's going to let it fly. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner Kyle Fuller. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So